I'm kind of excited for this one. Cosmic Calamities is definitely a team that's been, I think, kind of a crowd favorite, to be sure. They started off a little bit kind of shaky, but they're always sort of a coin flip team. I guess kind of a wild card team, but they've been performing really well in recent weeks. Natty, as we've seen, has been kind of playing out of his mind, and the rest of the team as well also just looking really good. Josh subbing in this week as well for Got is shaking up things up just a little bit here. But I'm still excited to see what they're going to be able to pull out. We are over on Demon Days, so going to be a bit of a volatile match, a little bit of a fighty match here. We see the primetime aerial start, everyone going for primetime in the match, and we even see Josh pulling out the Magnetized Souls and the Fanbrace Rasmus here from Leo Leon. So already things are getting shaken up a little bit. It's not entirely what you would normally expect to see.
Yeah, Streak running this Mom Boots. Finny has been kind of gaining a lot of favor lately because of that movement speed buff lately. You just kind of move it really, really fast as the Finny, and Finny's very, very strong on this map on offense, being able to keep the core up with that secondary, and especially the ultimate. If you get something like a Monumentalist later, that can just be a free double barrier every time you ult, if performed correctly. But Natty just sticking to that melee goalie, just playing the Dubu, might be able to just keep the core on their half and hold it down. Get it right with both barriers and getting it done.
Yeah, and thing about Dubu as well is Dubu ult is a really good counter to dropping the Finny ult on the barriers, even though this map does favor that, like right here, a lot. You just drop it in, but Dubu has enough kind of just stuffing potential and like anti-stuff that you can kind of deal with it a lot better. So it's a good way for Natty to kind of counter this Finny pick, and right now we're seeing some pretty good offense coming out from the side of Cosmic Calamities. A piercing shot there from Josh will be enough to stuff it in as Katone just keeping Kilius out of the play there. A lot of damage falling onto this Vice, normally the character who's dishing out the damage, but should they be able to scale later, it could switch around. First set is always a little bit wacky due to kind of low stagger bars, so we'll have to see if they switch it up as it goes along. Now it's actually Katone who's the one taking all the damage.
Yeah, Tony taking a lot of damage. I mean, you look at the two teams and you see the Dubu, like, not being able to keep up with the damage just causes both forwards to run out of health extremely quickly. Josh is trying to live at this point. Flip will be used by Natty, which will mean that you don't have that next set, because you're probably losing this one with the KO kind of inevitable here. But there's the KO, and now it's an open net. Josh needs to come back to kind of help out, but it's probably not going to work out. They should be able to convert this power play, but there's the one cooldown they need, and Tony not able to block on the top side.
Yeah, definitely a bit rough there. I mean, there's the damage that we're kind of expecting with the prime time all around as well. I mean, that's double pendulum swing, double power cord, double Finny card. Like, that's just a lot of damage that Lob City can kind of dish out on a whim, really. And it's really just kind of up to Cosmic Calamities to try and stay alive really as long as possible. But I mean, once again, the damage is kind of going back in Calamity's favors right now, with Streak being the one who's kind of facing the cooldowns of Katone right here. It's Natty trying to find a way to get this core out from behind their barrier right now. Vice secondary coming in, not going to be a good setup though. Power cord is going to, actually that's a perfect setup. Power cord put it to the top side, flip here from Kilius, gets it through the soup. A good shot, some unfortunate soup spread there. We'll see Lob City bring it to set point, as they're maybe looking to take this one. If they can keep the damage up and get maybe some heavy impact or something on this first draft, it could be really huge for this game.
Yeah, at the beginning of the round, we almost saw the damage go in the favor of Cosmic Calamities. Estelle Zen being a great combo at dishing out damage, but it just didn't last, and they didn't have those final hits to get through. But if they can trade the damage being taken for damage of their own and both barriers, then they can definitely find a way back into the set.
Yeah, absolutely. With the goal open now, a KO there from Kilius on the mini Supernova. There is a power play here for the side of Lob City, but they need to be careful with this Estelle on the board to not make any risky clears here. It's like Kilius going to bring it up to this top side, try and play around the sound wave, but Natty will be able to stall it out here. Tony coming back online. Now Leo Leon's the one taking a lot of this damage here. The soup coming out on the offensive there is going to allow Josh blink up to the top side. There's the Zen ult. Not going to get too much off of that one, though. There's now Kilius and Josh in the midfield, just trying to get something going for either of their respective teams here. Kilius doing a good job of keeping his core away from Katone at the moment, though, as Leo Leon now looking for this barrier. Natty with a good roll will shut that down. There's the Finial coming out. There's a Supernova, and that's another KO from Kilius this round. And the barrier falling down here as well. Streak looking to find a way to send this one in here down to Kilius. Leo Leon trying to get his hands on it. Will be enough. Shot to the bottom will be good, and that's Lob City taking set 1.
Yeah, not what you really want to see out of your set 1, where you're kind of hoping that you have the upper hand because your damage hasn't scaled yet, but just still dying on repeat is going to be a big issue. Even if Natty can hold it down for a really long time and you get the barriers, if they can just keep chaining those KOs, then you're just kind of not going to be able to find your way back in the game. If this draft is kind of a lot of options to be taken, probably one of the Size Awakening is going to be grabbed here unless you want to deny that explosive entrance, but really nothing being taken. They're just going to hold and deny explosive in the end. I mean, really, they can draft anything, and they're just going to be dealing more damage, where on the other end, Josh getting the bulk up, I think, is a really big deal for surviving just a little bit longer. So if that should be shown to help out, deal more damage, and survive, get these barriers like they have been doing, then that's their way back.
Yeah, absolutely. Calamities trying to play for the late game, it seems, but beautiful shot there from Katone. Nice setup with Zentaro primary off of that soup. We'll see them actually take the first point in the set. You do need to be wary of the stinger that Kilius picked up. It is percent stagger damage, so the damage on Josh will still be decently significant, at least coming out from the Vice here. Already getting some damage stacked up on him right now. Have to fall back for that orb a little bit here, as he's going to leave Katone to be able to get that second barrier for the side of Calamities, and now work around with the core in this top side, looking for the passive dash. Is actually the piercing shot from Josh. That's going to be enough to finish it off. And now it's Cosmic Calamities have brought it back in set 2. It's sitting at a comfy 2-0.
Yeah, a great way to play against damage is just win the kickoff and keep it on their half. If you keep it on their half in a good way and just kind of play safe and just keep playing to contain, then they're kind of not going to be able to find great ways to find like damage. So if they can keep doing that, because they're doing a great job once they're on offense of getting the barriers and scoring, they just keep the core on that half, and then hopefully Tony doesn't get KO'd, then they're able to, they're able to win these points despite being the damage disadvantage. But now Streak the one that's staggered and looking like they might get KO'd.
Yeah, but it's Leo Leon who finds the KO onto Katone with the pendulum swing. The power play with an open goal and 2 barriers up for the side of Lob City right now. Kilius passed down to Leo. Looking with that strike war, Natty makes his good save once, but not twice. Will be Lob City able to put themselves on the board here, but they are looking to reverse sweep this set to continue this streak up. They do have a pretty significant energy advantage, though, going into this. They're going to have 3 flips to work with, so they might just be able to pull this one off.
Yeah, they really should win, especially if this damage they got off kickoff. Tony and Josh both looking like prime targets, and there it is. Kilius finding the KO, and those are the 3 flips you were talking about. Kilius going to pass to Leo for the first. Leo flipping for the second, but Natty, if another amazing save, has been really able to hold it down in these power plays, is continuing to do so if this barrier staying up, despite 2 flips being used and like many ultimates. But now it's Josh who's next on the chain KO list. But if Tony can get some barriers in return, or at least not get KO'd, then maybe they can find their way through this point.
Yeah, Death Touch coming out, though. Will evade the pendulum swing, though, and stay alive, but the barrier is gone for the side of Cosmic Calamities here. Kilius also trying to stay alive right now as Streak and Leo looking to set up some kind of offense here. There's the Supernova coming out, but Natty will be able to hold it down. Missed the roll, but it will be good for now. It's Katone looking for the KO. Nice elusive from Kilius, though. Leo working his way up the field. Core flip burn here from Natty. Gonna get it away, but Streak just sending it right back in. A great strike war from Kilius as he gets hit by the soup, though. I don't know if that was some lag on my screen, but I saw 2 instances of soup fly out, so that was kind of crazy, and that will be good enough to tie it up.
Yeah, looking, sometimes you gotta do a double order, but it doesn't get it done. Leo Leon, though. Kilius have no evade, might be able to be a target, but instead it's just Josh who's gonna immediately run out of stagger. Kilius has that siphoning wand to heal up a little bit. It's kind of hard to tell how significant that is in the game, but now we see Natty didn't take pauldrons this game, has the strike shot, so he's going to be able to just get KO'd if damage falls. And there's the KO, and now it's going to be really, really hard to hold this down. Josh, not a midfielder really known for that defensive prowess, but he can definitely get it done with the Stell. There we go. You're able to clear it out at the very least, despite losing that barrier. If Tony can get a double here, Then it's really close on both ends. Now everyone full stagger from Cosmic Calamities. Josh has the flip, can put this in, but Kilius is going to be able to save it out despite getting staggered. That's 2 staggered targets, but Leo Leon's turn to save it this time. Strike Force Josh is running forward. Streak is KO'd. Leo Leon has to play defense one more time and is able to clear it out. Kilius is going to stop it with the secondary, but needs to find a way to score this or at least hold it down for Streak to survive. But Tony does the Borg flick and is going to send it right in between with perfect strike timing and take the second set of this game.
Crazy plays there from both sides, but Cosmic Calamities clutching it out there in the end. They will put a set of their own now on the board, and Josh going to be the MVP right now. We're seeing both orbs show up, as well as Ad Rush and Rampage. Missile Prop is here too, potentially, but Reverb is the big pickup for the Estelle, scaling with that Stagger Exodius. It's going to be a lot harder to kill Josh now. Ad Rush will go over to Kilius, and Rampage here for Leo Leon is a great pickup on the Rasmus on the double barrier map. Missile Prop, interesting deny here from Katone, not going for a Dash Awakening, going to deny the Finny, and I guess get range on that passive, and then the orb's just going over to the goalies, but definitely an interesting draft there.
Yeah, some might consider that fan behavior, but playing against the Finny with Missile Prop and or Deadeye, it's pretty, like, I think it's equally as annoying, just especially for your goalie to just have to deal with this Missile Prop the whole game and constantly being pelted with a bunch of free damage is just something you really don't want to have to deal with. And sometimes you don't want to deal with it so much that your Zentaro takes Missile Prop. So we'll see if we see any passive Zentaro dash Missile Prop shenanigans happen this game. We'll have my eye out for that, but pretty unlikely. But once again, Natty holding it down in the power plays. Kind of one of their win conditions is Natty just playing like an absolute beast, so that even if they get KO, they can just win. But and it's working out so far. They're having both barriers.
Yeah, they're in a pretty decent spot right now. Natty has a flip up as well if anything goes critically wrong right now. Katone also with the flip. Going to burn it right here. Get it right through Streak, timing out the strike. Good patience there. We'll see Cosmic Calamities put themselves first up on the board in this set right now. And looking at the orbs that people have been picking up, Streak unfortunately relegated to none at the moment, whereas Natty slowly stacking up that Orb Dancer. We've already seen him use that soup kind of offensively a little bit already, just with the extra strike shot range, and once he gets that Orb Dancer stacked up, this Dubu is going to be contributing pretty significantly to shutting off one of these lanes right now. But that being said, Cosmic Calamities are in a reverse power play and actually got both barriers off of it right now, and Katone back online, getting it back to the 3v3. This could be their moment once they are able to reconvert here. Core flip burnt from Natty could be enough to get us back into midfield. Big plays, though, coming out from Lob City. Core flip from Leo is going to go wide, though, around the back side. Now they're going to have to be on the defense once again. Core flip from Kilius. Pass up to Leo. It's not going to get too far, though. Natty just keeps sending it right back in. Now Josh Katone in this top side trying to get it through. There's a Borg flick coming out. A great shot once again from Katone to put Cosmic Calamities on set point.
Yeah, Calm's playing pretty crazy right now, and if you notice, Leo Leon has 0 Rampage stacks, and these 2 points have not gone a single barrier, not even KO'd or anything like that, just no barriers taken. But Tony and Josh had just crazy forward synergy with the passes to each other. When they're ever in front of the net, just like, look at that pass all the way to Tony from behind. Is able to put that into that second barrier, and now Tony has flip in front of the net. Is just going to hit it right through. And that's another set taken in the blink of an eye.
Yeah, Cosmic Calamities. Lob City, they took that first one kind of off the back of just being able to deal a lot of damage, but Cosmic Calamities have found some kind of synergy, and I guess just with stacking enough stagger on Josh as well, helping them survive a lot here. And now they're just kind of sweeping these ones. Rapid fire pickup going over to Katone. That's primetime rapid fire Zentaro. That's a lot of primaries coming out here. 1-2 punch for Leo Leon. Extra special pickup on Natty is huge on the Dubu. There's the Deadeye Finny, so we get some more damage over on Streak, though. But unstoppable pickup from Josh will be nice for staying alive even more. And then Hot Shot just going over to Kilius there. A really nice looking draft here, I think, from Cosmic Calamities.
I think this is a really huge draft for Lob City. This Hot Shot plus Deadeye plus 1-2 punch means they're getting so much more damage in core control. Tony instantly getting chunked and Kilius being able to hit the core at Mach 10 means it's just going to be harder for Cosmic Calamities to play to their sort of core control win condition. But Josh is still really, really tanky, and Tony having the rapid fire means more damage. So they aren't looking exactly bad either. And that's going to be an open net and a KO for Cosmic Calamities.
Now just looking for the power play. Streak finds the KO, though, onto Katone. And that's Kilius back online here. If they can just hold out against Josh and the Soup, which looks like they will be able to, they might be able to get something going of their own on this power play here. Streak sending it to Leo Leon. Kilius teleporting in. Katone is back online. And are now looking to make a push here of their own. Shot to the top. There's the Zen ult, but Kilius able to rearrange it in there. Kind of send it backwards a little bit. Now Leo Leon and Kilius pushing up. There's the Whiplash in the corner. The Death Touch to bring it up, but it goes a little bit too fast. Leo can't quite get a hold of it. We're going to have maybe another chance here as we go into overtime. The Soup coming out, though, is a pass over to Katone. But it's going to lose the core just in time. Strike War win there from Leo Leon. The Supernova coming out. Josh trying to get it through the midfield, but Kilius holding it down right now. Josh bringing it up to the top side. Katone trying to get a hold of it. The piercing shot doesn't quite line up, but the Rose Thorns will. And that's Calamities putting themselves first on the board once again.
Yeah, Josh is showing why this Estelle pick is so strong this entire game, really. Just always having, even with the Mag Souls, is just able to have so much presence on the map from the midfield line. And sometimes you can also just blink in from the midfield line and you have to keep that speed for 2 whole seconds, which is just like longer than like Slick Kicks, I'm pretty sure. So sometimes those offensive plays going pretty crazy, but this speed could be the answer to Natty just being able to hold it down so long. So if we can see more of that core speed come out with 1-2 punch hot shot to get these barriers, especially on these power plays, if they're able to get Tony here, that's a great answer to the kind of the problems that Lob City have been having so far. But to do that first, they need to show that they can take both barriers off of Natty.
Yeah, and I mean, Natty just stalling out this power play absolutely flawlessly, not losing that second barrier there and actually putting pressure on Streak during it right now. But the grand finale coming out there, big finish is going to mean another power play yet again for the side of Lob City here. But Natty's still holding it down. Leo will be able to win the strike war, get that second barrier, and Josh is not looking too good right now as Leo pushing up with that Whiplash. Is not going to be good enough to score. Burning the core flip it on death. Josh, a crazy angle off of the last minute flip. Use it or lose it. And he'll find the goal to bring Cosmic Calamities onto match point. An absolutely insane shot.
Yeah, hey, on the back of Natty just holding it down, Josh is able to just keep finding these goals one way or another. It doesn't matter if Tony is just permanently KO'd. As long as his teammates are able to find ways to score, it shouldn't matter. But this one's looking pretty curtains. Natty on the way to the grave with 2 flips online. If Josh can hold it down, there's some possibilities here of Tony responding and making it happen, but it just seems so unlikely. This flip should be the thing that ends the point, but if they don't find a setup, Natty's back online, but nope. Kilius is going to find an angle.
Yeah, good shot. It looks like Kilius actually burned the mini supernova there to make it go like kind of fast as well. So
yeah, I'm kind of confused what exactly happened. It might have been like a Borg flick, like ult. Like it went in a weird direction, I thought, but maybe it was just off the ult and the
yeah,
flip.
it was like a mini supernova, and it like sent a slightly weird angle, I think. But I mean, that does mean the cooldown is down for a little bit at least here, and Streak's getting a lot of damage right now from Katone. Looking to damage back, but that's 3 damage health bars on the side of Lob City right now. They're going to lose 1 barrier off of this pressure here. Be able to get it out and recover a little bit, though. Leo Leon pushing up, trying to find a second one. It's not going to be good enough, but Katone will be taken out by the Death Touch there. Another power play for the side of Lob City. Core flip burnt by Josh as well, and taking a lot of damage. Core flip here from Natty to try and buy a little bit of time. Power core, it's going to go wide. The Finny secondary will save the barrier, but that's an ace from Streak. And that's the point going over to Lob City. The damage finally paying out right now. They've got it on lock. They managed to do what they needed, and now they have a chance to bring this one back.
Yeah, especially if this Deadeye pickup is really, really huge. If you get a KO onto Tony, if you can convert that into a KO onto Natty, that's when you start to see Cosmic Calamities fall apart. So if they can repeat that success, especially after finding the first KO, then they can definitely win this point and keep themselves in the game. But now Leo Leon has flip in front of the net. It's probably going to strike flip, and there we see it. But it's going to be the log that holds it down. Josh with the strike. One more log is not going to be enough. And it's going to be a set 5 for Cosmic Calamities versus Lob City.
Ooh, a tight game to be sure. Streak, the MVP right now. Svenny could potentially get something kind of dangerous. We see the heavy impact. We see the perfect form showing up, and also quick strike. Some really nice awakenings right here. Peak performances there for Josh as well. Looks like it might be just going to pick up the peak performance to deny the stagger. Zodia, perfect form. Will go over to the Estelle. Pretty good awakening right there. Leo going for the quick strike.
Heavy.
Also really good. Heavy impacts deny here from Natty. Not going to let the Vice have it. It's going to be a stacked pickup instead. And then twin drive over on the Zentaro.
Yeah, we see the peak performance. It is a deny for the triple stagger build that Josh would have had. But at the same time, Streak was finding himself very low in a lot of these points. So having that as a backup for when Tony just decides to stand on him is going to be very useful. But both barriers found might be traded here if Tony can get the cooldowns off before KO. There we go. And just a lot of every time a team's on offense, kind of getting their offense done. But Natty has been doing a really good job in open net. And although Streak has that peak performance, if Streak can be KO'd, then maybe something can happen. But Josh just used all the cooldowns, but does not even matter. Just strikes it in. What a play from Josh, subbing in, and just has been really the highlight of this game so far from Cosmic Calamities on the offensive side. Tony too busy getting KO'd, although Natty definitely having that defense just doesn't really matter. That no for Froggy today. Just Josh being able to score despite Tony being KO'd has been a huge boon for this team.
Josh has definitely been working some magic, and there once again, a piercing shot to find the second barrier from Josh will open up Lob City's side of the net right here. Supernova coming out. Natty, unfortunate clear there will mean that both sides of the goals are going to be opened up. And now Kilius and Leo, there's the KO coming out from Leo Leon. A 10 KO streak, the power chord from Kilius will be enough to sink it in as well. Natty not going to be able to win that 1v2 from range, unfortunately. Will mean that Lob City are going to be tying it up, keeping this game absolutely just neck and neck, back and forth it seems, where really all the tiny things are gonna end up mattering quite a lot. Lob City really have to prioritize the way that they're finding these KOs, because that seems to be the thing that's kind of carrying them through this.
Yeah, and there's a KO though for Cosmic Calamities, and the double flips used. This is huge. This means that both barriers are very, very susceptible to being taken right now. That's one being taken already from a great blink from Josh, but this other's going to stay up, and as Kilius comes back online, Tony is the target right now. A lot of cooldowns getting sent that way, but it's going to be kind of almost like an own barrier from that big finish. Now Natty has the flip, might walk up and try to put it in himself, but not going to find it. Instead, a pass to Josh isn't going to be shot. It's going to be dribbled, which is going to lead to another opportunity for Lob City. But an own barrier, the nerves are kind of starting to show through a little bit, but the Tofu Fortress is supposed to block that off, but a hole is found, and the big finish is going to be the one that finds the score. Now Kilius is going to be in the mix and scores that one, another 1 point away from taking map 1.
Unfortunately, I think the strike shot messed up that Tofu Fortress just a little bit when it made the spread. It went just a little bit like too far and kind of got in a zigzag pattern and was able to sneak through on that Finny ultimate. But another KO here from Leo Leon onto Katone, who's just not allowed to play the game for the majority of this. Leads to the power play coming out right now. There's the Finny ult. It's not quite on the barrier though. See if they find the angle, but Natty able to read that one and save it away right here. Tony back online as well. Supernova coming out though. Could mean Kilius almost dying. Burns the core flip to stay alive. There's the KO coming out from Katone. Now a flip from Natty. Gets blocked away by Leo Leon. And that's a barrier gone for the side of Cosmic Calamity's core flip. Burnt here. Blocked away once again, but the angle is good. And the second barrier is gone. Now it's Katone looking for the shot. There's the passive. I don't know if the missile prop actually mattered there or not, but a great shot either way to bring it to 0.5.
I'm down to call that missile prop difference. Maybe it hits it a little bit harder, you know, and made the core go a little bit faster, so Streak wasn't able to react in time. But now a 1 kickoff from Josh means that they have the offense this time. Tofu Fortress is going to lead to the second barrier. This could be extremely fast final point if they aren't able to recoup from this offense, but Josh is the one who's about to have flips soon. I don't know if they're going to be able to hold from here, but Streak has defense now. They're kind of starting to hold it together a little bit more, and as Leo Leon's able to get that off, the flip is used, but it is going to be a possible offense off of a possible KO. Lego Mage, how is this going to end?
Oh, the KO on Kilius, but Streak able to save that one away. Now it's Lob City who have to suffer through the power play right now. Tony in the top side, there's a Tofu Fortress. Josh facing the core, but can't quite get to it in time. We'll buy a little bit more time pass up to Katone for another Borg flick. It's good! It's good! The third Borg flick from Katone to find the score, and Cosmic Calamities will take game 1.
That's a game that went down to the wire. Set 5.5. Both teams just trading back and forth. It felt like even though there's just so much damage coming out of Lob City, either Tony or Josh would just have some insane solo offensive play to be able to deal with the less defensive capabilities that Finny has, as opposed to whenever a KO happened, Natty was sometimes just able to hold it down and break through the power plays and just do better in those situations. With both teams finding power plays, although one finding only 5, with 5 total KOs coming from Cosmic Calamities, as opposed to the 23 KOs found from Lob City. You see Cosmic Calamities come out on top, much due to the 223 redirects from Natty, just kind of holding it down in a fierce manner. Just 50 more redirects and streak that game. What a just holy moly.
Yeah, a great game to be sure. Katone as well, when he was alive, was putting in a lot of work. He used that same Borg flick from basically the same spot on the map 3 separate times and scored on all 3 attempts, which is kind of crazy. They just, I don't know, they found the setup that they knew would win, and were able to kind of checkmate streak every single time, basically. But yeah, really great game there for game 1. Calamities, it was looking kind of scary in that first set with how much damage it looked like Lob City was going to be able to pump out there. But, I mean, Calamities held it together. They went through the power plays. Like you were saying, Natty was holding it down and just buying the time that they needed to just get their Zentaro back online. And, I mean, Josh was just putting in a lot of work. We were saying it during the game. Josh may have been the highlight of that game there for Cosmic Calamities. Held it down in the power plays. Even was able to score barriers and points off of power plays as well. So we didn't know entirely what to expect with the substitute, but I mean, I guess we've got our work cut out for us.
Yeah, but now we're heading to Oni Village next up, which is actually Cosmic Calamity's map pick. That was Lob City's map pick. Their plan going into this game was kind of knowing that Natty doesn't play many damage goalies other than the Vice. So just kind of having the Vice on their side, and then knowing their opponents will deal less damage, getting a ton of KOs was supposed to be their plan. But weren't able to fully succeed, and now they have to get to Oni Village, where the game changes quite a lot. It is Big Fish rapid fire start, so not really if sometimes you see an adrenaline rush start, and then you can more justifiably pick damage because you're more likely to get things off in those power plays. But even if you go damage, having the worst defense when power plays are harder to execute is a bit harder on this map. So I mean, you never know. Maybe we see Shriek just pick Zentaro goalie or something crazy, but it's much more likely, I think, to see more normal picks coming out this game. A lot less damage, or I guess normal. At this point, damage has become a little bit of the norm, so it'd be more like traditional non-damage picks, Oni Village stuff. I think Rasmus is going to be very high priority of Tony in the game in a Big Fish start. But it'll be Lob City that get the first pick and ban, so we'll see what they decide to do. Estelle banned.
I mean, yeah, it makes sense. Estelle is very strong on this map. You have a rapid fire start as well, and Josh was just absolutely cooking with that pick on the last game. So pretty good ban there from Lob City. Like you're saying, the Rasmus is going to be probably highly contested here. I would not be surprised if it ends up being first pick for Lob City if Cosmic Calamities don't just ban it away. But I'm curious to see what Calamities' first picks are going to be, if they're going to go for the goalie or whatnot. But I actually see the IME ban come out here. So not going to be having that
I don't know what's going on there. I don't want Streak has picked it on this map. I guess they don't want to have to deal with that forward pressure. But I think that's a weird target. I'm pretty sure, yeah, that has to be targeting Streak. So I don't really know. Maybe they just don't want to ban anything, kind of, because they really want to get Rasmus or Kazan, and they did get Rasmus in the end. Normally, I know Forgot would probably pick Juno with Rasmus here, but maybe because they have Josh instead, they're going to opt for the Now. We see the Kazan and Rasmus traded on the Big Fish rapid fire start, which makes a lot of sense. But I think Tony getting this Rasmus will be a really big deal. If the big thing is if Now we'll be able to support the Rasmus very well, but that's something we'll have to see. We see the Mako being picked. It's a very good pick into the now. Rasmus has some ways to deal with Mako, but we'll see. It's going to be Streak on the Mako, though. Kind of a rare sight, I think. And I can't really think off the top of my head the last time or even a time I've seen Streak pick Mako, but I'm sure he'll be just fine with that pick. And Asher goalie being picked, signature pick for Natty, no surprises there. Maybe we could have seen the Debu come out again, but it's rapid fire start. You're going to get your primary a bunch, so it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, absolutely. Kind of like both these team comps, really. I think there's not like too many big surprises other than maybe the Aimi ban. But yeah, I mean, this is just kind of looking to be like an Oni Village game, to be sure. Josh is now, I've seen it before. It's pretty good. It can absolutely cook right here. But like you were saying, the question is going to be, is it going to be enough kind of offensive pressure to deal with Streak just sitting down on a barrier and just locking it in with Mako? Is there going to be enough ways to kind of get it around that character or not? We do have, looking at the Awakenings, exactly what you'd expect. Size on Rasmus, Kazan, everyone else just going with the rapid fire. No big surprises here, but I mean, that's just going to be how it goes. We'll have to see if it ends up playing out or not. And it is going to be Lob City who are going to take the first barrier to start us off.
Yeah, just already the size of Leo Leon, like announcing itself, that's going to be a common issue this game. Just that strike hitbox being so large. But Kai should have a pretty good time playing midfield this game. Now has the tools to play midfield, but isn't quite as good. Natty is going to trade barrier for a KO, pretty much. So if they can convert on this power play, then maybe they can get some compensation for losing their barriers. But seems pretty unlikely. Mako is just going to hold that down, especially already having core flip. Josh tries to get another KO, it looks like, on Leo Leon there, but isn't going to find it. Even though Killish is low right now, just grabs an ore, and now you're back to full. So slow starts. We're on Oni Village. Things are slowing down quite a bit, but Natty is going to flip to dodge a secondary. And so far, every flip this game, not doing too much. So we'll see if Leo Leon can find a score. Bang.
Yeah, it looks like it will be good. Doing the slip into the strike, bringing it into the top side. This Kazan definitely going to be a bit of a slippery fellow here. Once the barriers go down, Natty's best way to defend at this point is to have one barrier up and to just sit on that barrier. Once the barriers are down, it's going to allow Leo Leon and Gilius to kind of utilize the mobility that their characters have and some of the funny tricks that they can do to really get around this, sort of less mobile Asher goalie that Natty's got. But as long as he can sit on that one barrier for as long as possible, that's where you can kind of play to Asher's strengths of just sort of stuffing it back through. And honestly, Lob City are kind of in a similar situation with the Mako as well. You don't really want to have to defend an open goal with that character against Rasmus if you don't have to.
Yeah, it's a bit annoying, but both of them having the strike shot will assist a little bit into open net defense, but it won't matter if Tony's able to score here, but Streak gets that primary off just in time to save it. Now Tony's getting into position, has that flip, just wants a single pass, and then it's going to put Streak in a really tough spot. Streak needs to really save that strike shot for this flip, or ult or some sort of option, but Tony kind of messes up slightly on the dribble and isn't going to be able to score off that play, but another one should be coming soon. There's the ult, which means there won't be any ult for the next flip that Tony's able to pull off. We'll have to see if this goes in. The strike shot is up, but Tony has the read, and strike shot is going to kind of mess up Streak, if anything, trying to aim for that top shot. But great play from Tony, gets that one in after quite a long point.
Yeah, I mean, Oni Village, most of the points are going to end up being quite long. Fortunately or unfortunately, I don't know, depending on your view of Oni Village, I guess. But yeah, I mean, not too much really happens here on kickoff either. But one thing I kind of noticed, Streak is going a little bit back and forth between the barriers more than Natty is. It seems like Natty kind of prioritizes the bottom one and lets Josh handle the top one, which is kind of interesting. Normally, you kind of would expect the Achilles to defend one for the side of Lob City and Streak just kind of sit on one, but they're kind of able to utilize that range a little bit better and kind of move back and forth a little bit more freely, which is kind of interesting. So curious to see how that ends up playing out. But we do have some core flips up here. Streak going to lose the barrier, but end up burning the flip anyway. A little bit of an unfortunate trade here. Flip's now getting burnt from the side of Calamities, but they will keep their barrier up in exchange for 2 of them. Pressure still on, though, from Leo, Leon, and Kilius here as we go into overtime with core speed. Going to get a little bit out of hand potentially. Nice strike force, though, from Josh. Keeping this Kazan relatively in control. Core flip from Kilius. We'll see the barrier go down, but bouncing back to Katoni, who has the whiplash up, and it's going to be good to force it through Streak, and that's Cosmic Calamities now on set point.
Yeah, Tony just cherry picking up there. As soon as Tony gets to core, usually does something great with it. And if their team's doing a good job just playing the double goalie defense, even though they don't have possession, they didn't have possession for a lot of that point. It doesn't really matter as long as you have the opponent's barrier. A big thing I noticed from Streak is using the cooldowns to try to keep the core up means that you don't have them on defense. And leads you to situations like this where you get double barriered and Josh is just able to slide it in right past Kilius and Streak, and that's going to be the first set.
Yeah, first set going over to Cosmic Calamities. Natty gonna have the pick of the lot right here.
Interesting.
Yeah,
There's this
seeing a couple
Rampage.
things show up.
I'm already looking at the Rampage because if Rasmus gets this Rampage 5th pick, then there's definitely a problem. But if Kai is the one to take it, that feels kind of weird. There's not really that much for Kai to take. So denying the Rampage seems pretty logical. And then we actually see Mako do that instead. I would have liked to see those 2 picks be switched up. Just Kai take Rampage and then Mako take the missile prop to get that extra range on everything. And we see Bulk Up taken, which it's kind of weird in my eyes. I think it's the Big Fish combo is nice, and you're going to find some random KOs for fun, and some random KOs probably total for fun. But letting Leo Leon get 1-2 punch means he's going to have way more scoring potential, especially against the Asher. So, I mean, I guess they're just saying it doesn't matter, Tony's him. It's just going to play Rasmus and do things like that, and now has the shot on the open net.
Yeah, I mean, as long as they continue to play better, it won't necessarily matter. A great save, though, from Streak. Not going to be able to do it a second time, though. Tony will be able to get that whiplash speed up to sink the point in as Cosmic Calamities put themselves once again here first on the board. And yeah, I agree with that Rampage pickup. It feels a little bit bad because they're not going to get too much value out of it other than just the deny. But I don't know. I mean, maybe there's a world where it comes into play, but the Orb Ponderer that Natty ended up getting is just like so good, especially with the rapid fire. This guy is just gonna have barrier beam up basically all the time. Oh, whoa!
I mean, I wasn't even looking over there. I'm not gonna lie, but Tony finds a KO on the Streak, which is one of the times where power play is a really, really big deal, is when you get their goalie. So now Tony is gonna be able to find that barrier. Now Natty has the flip too, so Tony's just going to move up. Note passes on its way, but a little bit of a miscommunication results in core not moving all the way up. But now Leo Leon staggered with flip is a very good target for getting KO'd. The secondary from Josh is actually going to prevent the hook from missing. And in the end, Leo Leon's going to do a great outplay, find the barrier, almost finds the goal, but not quite. Now it's going to be KO'd. Kotone running up with the flip. He's trying to get into a spot where the flip can be used to score. There's the dribble, and there's the shot. Once again, slipping right under Streak, and Cosmic Calamities are up 2-0.
Yeah, Cosmic Calamities looking really good here. Lob City, I mean, they definitely had the big advantage in Game 1, being able to play to the damage, but you can't do that on this map. It's just not really a thing, and Katona has actually been the one who's been able to find a couple of KOs. That bulk up pick actually kind of mattering a little bit, interestingly enough. But Lob City will be able to get one barrier here. However, that doesn't really matter that much. That's the rental barrier for both styles, really. It's now is when kind of the real game begins. Core flip getting burned by Josh. Actually gets it around Streak, barely, as the second barrier falls down. Kind of crazy. But now Leo Leon looking to get a barrier of his own. Will be able to do so with that crook leverage. Josh working up the field. The death touch is no good. Blocked by the Giga Blast. Now Kilius with the flip. Doesn't even need it. The barrage is going to be enough. Force it through Natty. Lob City will put themselves on the board, but it's still looking kind of tight. They're really, really going to have to, like, bring this one back.
Yeah, even when they're looking good, it's looking a little scary. But Leo Leon is playing a very good character right now. He's able to get that first barrier due to the size and extended strike box. But there's the flip. I don't really, now he's just going to walk up in primary. So not really too much of a vision there, I think. But If Natty can just hold this down, then Tony's going to walk up with all of that pressure that he's had this entire game. Both goalies having to flip right now, so really no one's in big danger. It's kind of a goal to either put someone in a terrible spot where they're forced to use flip, but Streak just decides not to use it at all. Now it's an open net, and Tony is putting the pressure on.
Flip burned here from Streak as well. It's not necessarily good when there's still a barrier to work through, which, I mean, it's Natty's comfort barrier, right? It's going to be tough to bring it down. Flip burnt from Natty as well to get it over to Katone. Burning the cooldowns, but Streak will be able to find the clear there by a little bit of time right now. Katone getting a hold of the core once again as Josh moving up this top side versus Leo. The pop-up will be enough to get away, but Natty sending it right back in. The pass splitter coming out as well. Not quite enough, but do enter overtime now where that core is just going to be moving so fast. Pass over to Katone. Pull the Streak away from the goal with the death touch. It did enough damage to yoink him across the map and stagger him. That was crazy. It's just the core just going to float right in. Cosmic Calamities take the set.
Yes, I questioned the bulk up pick. My bad. My bad. And now we see Quick Strikes and Monumental as both options, which actually I think is really something that would tear me apart personally. Because, yeah, I think you need to take the Quick Strikes. Because I think the only way you really lose that game is if you like take Monu and then Leo just gets Quick Strikes and then goes crazy on you. So that just out of the table, and instead Peak being taken to prevent the like triple stagger and giving yourself that double stagger for the bonus. But Might of the Colossus on Tony, this means even more power, and I think that's going to be a really, really big problem. I think pretty much everything that was causing Calm to win this game just got buffed a little bit, with Josh with Quick Strikes and Tony with the Might of the Colossus. Natty Hotshot too is really is a super biss on that character. But on the other end, just not really as much good stuff going to Lob City. So I'm looking to see Calm take over this game, to be honest.
Yeah, it's really looking like it on paper. I mean, all the builds here, it just looks like Calamities has the better one in general, and they're playing at a bit of a better level at the moment as well. So, I mean, they're just kind of looking to close out this series right here, really. Core flips here from Josh. He's going to get blocked away, but it's one barrier to one barrier. Katone is just waiting for Pure the Rock right now. Password coming out from Natty. Good defense here from Kilius. Will be able to kind of clear out to this top side, but it's only a matter of time, really, before one of these teams is able to get a hold of this Streak. He's actually taken kind of a fair bit of damage and had to go get that midfield orb. Gonna go burn the core flip, but Josh finds the KO with the secondary. Another goalie power play for the side of Cosmic Calamities, right as overtime hits as well. Leo trying to stall out with the core flip here for as long as possible. Josh taking a fair bit of damage, but Streak will be back online here and actually able to get the barrier on respawn. Lob City now got the open goal here.
Yeah, I mean, Tony, just so proficient at taking barriers, decides I'm taking more than 2 barriers this round. I'm going to go for 3. Sends that one back, but either way, Natty still has the flip, but it's going to dash flip. That is weird. Dash flips it back into the goal, but that's going to be a goal credited to Leo Leon 500. A bit of a weird point. Kind of 2 own goals in 1 point is going to mean really not that much. But if that happens again and Cosmic Calamities start to lose their footing due to things like that happening, that is a way for Lob City to grab themselves back in this game. But instead, they're looking already back on form. They have 2 flips right now. They've gotten both barriers without the need of either of them. And now Tony's in front of the net, just going to flip that one in.
Yeah, good setup as well. Josh still able to hold on to the core flip to be able to use that this round here. And yeah, as long as there's no more silly mistakes, as you're saying, they should just be able to close this one out. Silly mistakes are not a reliable win condition. And Katone with a big KO here. Once again, this time on Tequilius. It's going to be in yet another power play. To the side of Cosmic Calamities. The barrier's falling down. Katone has the whiplash, dribbling it, just able to force it through the sound wave right there. And that's Cosmic Calamities bringing it to match point. And Josh still has the core flip.
Yeah, 166 power, looking a little weak right now. Just that primary is basically a dash punch on its own. You gotta respect it when you're in those speed lanes. But already 1 barrier falling, usually not that big of a deal, but there's definitely some sort of mental toll might be taken there. Streak has the flip, is going to have to use it pretty early on this defense. Doesn't even get a barrier for it. And now Josh has the flip, looking for an opportunity to pass that up to Tony to get a barrier. Uses that ult to survive a little bit longer, but that's going to be a flip, not used on getting the barrier. But Tony's going to grab another KO! And he's probably going to end the game with another KO on the goalie. Streak is down. Josh has that primary, but it's not going to go in. But the pass to Tony is going to finish it off, and Cosmic Calamities will win 2-0.
I mean, Kitone, what was that? That was at 3 or 4? I think like 4 KOs onto Streak that game. Absolutely crazy. I mean, you know, we questioned the bulk up pick, but clearly this guy's making it work. Yeah, 4 KOs in total. I think it was like 3 on the Streak, but that's not something you see on Oni Village all that often. And 8 goals as well to back it up. Cosmic Calamities looked to be in really good form that game. They held Lob City to 3 points total. A lot of redirects all around, some good saves and whatnot on Natty. But yeah, I mean, it just looked a lot more synergized, playing a lot better together. I don't know if there's much else to say. I mean, they took that one pretty decisively when they're not having to worry about Vice. And
the stats are crazy. I mean,
Streak with 89 redirects this game. Maybe not that comfy on the Mako in general. I don't think that was like the big problem, but I do think Streak was having a lot of trouble on the defense. Maybe it's just like some synergy with Kilius, but maybe it's just also not having. I don't know if I've ever seen Streak ever pick Mako ever. So interesting pick to come through at a time like this, and even in like that clip that just showed up on stream, you can kind of see like even the new Mako nerfs kind of coming into play, where you can't just insta secondary. You're no longer that kind of defensive demon that you once were. You do have a lot of offensive potential on Mako, but you're just no longer that same wall that Asher and Dubu are in a lot of these cases. So that ended up being a really big deal, and maybe costing them that game.